Hello students, my name is Bruno Mrigo. Today we are going to discuss the topic of production. And the subtopic we are going to discuss is the factors of production. Now, under this topic we are going to discuss in detail the concept of law of diminishing return and the stages of production. So under this topic, and the subtopic we are going to discuss the concept of we are going to discuss is the law of diminishing returns. And the second concept we are going to discuss is the stages of production. So the second concept we are going to discuss is stages of production. So we are going to discuss these two concepts, law of diminishing returns and the stages of production. Now, before we start to discuss the law of diminishing return, let us start by considering the production function. Production function. We know that under short run, we assume that firms or producers are producing goods or output while other factors are kept constant. So in short run, we assume one variable, especially labor, is changing while other inputs are kept constant. So the production function we are considering in short run. Okay, now in short run, the output produced will be equal to the function of labor, where now Q is equal to total output, and L is equal to number of labor or workers which will be employed. So in short run, we consider the variable labor while other factors like capital, land, and entrepreneur are kept constant. So when we present the production function graphical, presenting the production function graphical, the production function of production function will be like this one. So here we put the output or total output, and the horizontal axis we put the unit of labor. Okay. Now we know that in the short run, as we employ a unit of labor, the output is increasing. So in short run, as I employ a unit of labor, the output will start to increase, then will reach a maximum point, then will start to diminish. So this is the graph of the total product. So as I employ a certain unit of labor, which is L, the total output Q is increasing, then reach a certain point which is maximum, then will start to decline. So under short run, this situation will exist. Now let us see where now the law of diminishing returns operates. Now, before we describe the law of diminishing returns, let us state what is the law of diminishing returns. How we can state the law of diminishing returns. In economics, the law of diminishing return states that when the level of technology is constant or is given, it means as you add a more unit of labor or 1 unit of variable factor, while other factors like capital, land, and entrepreneur are kept constant, the additional output will be increasing at a small rate, or will be increasing smaller and smaller. So the output will be increasing at small rate. So the laws are law of diminishing returns state that we assume that when the level of technology is constant, so we assume first the level of technology is constant now as one input factor is added while other inputs are kept fixed. The additional output or marginal product will be increasing at smaller. The additional output or marginal product will be increasing at smaller and smaller rate. Okay, our laws said that when the level of technology is constant or is given as a one input factor, and here now the input we are talking is labor. As a 1 unit of labor is added while other inputs are kept fixed. The other inputs which are kept fixed here, we are talking about land, capital, and entrepreneur. Now, the additional output or the marginal product will be increasing at a smaller and smaller rate. So, graphical, the law of diminishing returns will start to operate when the marginal product is reached at a maximum. So we can show now graphical here is the output and here is labor. Now when we draw the graph of total product, our graph of total product will be like this one. This is the total product curve. So this is the maximum total output when the unit of labor, let's say LM, showing that the maximum output when we employ LM unit of labor. Now, when this total product is increasing at an increasing rate, let's say from O to a certain point, set at this point, up to L1, say. So if the output is increasing at an increasing rate, now and at this point the output starts to increase at a decreasing rate. So the laws of diminishing return will start to operate at this point, let's say at a point A. So at this point, the marginal product will be at a maximum. So when you draw the marginal product curve, it will be like this one. So when the marginal product reaches maximum, at this point, the law of diminishing return starts to operate. So from point A and beyond, the law of diminishing return starts to operate. So at point, let's say B, here the total product is at the maximum at this point. So our law will start to operate at this point when the marginal product is at maximum. Okay, now let us discuss the stages of production. And here we'll discuss the 3 stages of production. Stages of production. We'll have 3 stages. Stage 1, Stage 2, and Stage 3. Now let us consider the following diagram. Here we said is the output, and here is labor. Okay. Also, we know that the total production curve is in this form. This is the total product curve. So, when the total product curve is reached maximum, we know that the marginal product is equal to 0. So, here the marginal product curve be equal to 0. So our marginal product curve will be like this one. So when the total product is maximum, the marginal product curve will intersect the horizontal axis. So at this point means the marginal product will be equal to 0. Also we have the curve of average product. We know that the average product curve will intersect the marginal product curve when the average product curve is at a maximum. So the average product curve be like this one. So after intersecting with the marginal product, the average product will be at a maximum, then will start to decline this situation. So this will be the average product. So when the average product and the marginal product intersect, you know, at this point, the average product will be at a maximum. So at this point, the average product is at a maximum. So the stage 1 starts when labor is 0 up to this point when the marginal product intersect with average product. Let's say L1. So the stage 1 will start when output, when number of labor is 0 up to number of labor is equal to L1. So this will be the stage 1. And stage 2 is when it starts when the marginal product is equal to average product to this point L1 up to when the marginal product is equal to 0. So when marginal product is equal to 0 to this point, so I can put LM. So the labor will be LM. So stage 2 now starts when the average product is at a maximum or when the marginal product intersects with average product up to when the marginal product is equal to 0. And stage 3 starts when marginal product is 0 and beyond. So after LM, then the labor employed above this LM, we are employing at a stage 3. So stage 3 will start at this point and beyond. So if we are discussing the stages of production, you'll discuss these 3 stages: stage 1, stage 2, and stage 3. And you can see in stage 1, here the total product is increasing. Also the marginal product also is increasing or raising. Also the average product is increasing. So you can see the 3 curves are all is what? Increasing. And at stage 2, the total product still increasing, but at a increasing rate, at a decreasing rate. Total product at stage 2 will be increasing at a decreasing rate or at small rate, while the average product is declining. Also the marginal product is declining. But you can see here, when the average product is declining, the marginal product is less than the average product. So the average product will be higher while the marginal product is lower. And in this case, when the marginal product is increasing, the average product is below or is less. So you can see this relationship. When this one is increasing, this will be below, and when this is higher, this one will be below, or when this is greater, the marginal product is declining. So this some relationship which exists between average product and marginal product. So the 3 concepts of total product, average product, and the marginal product have this relationship. Now by using this diagram, you will be able now to solve various economic problem or to do some numerical analysis to see the behavior of the production in the short run. And this will help a producer, or will help you to take some decision, either to increase the number of labor in order to increase output, or to reduce the number of labor in order to change the output. For instance, in this point from 0 to L1, in this case, it is the advantage to employ more unit of labor, since the total product, marginal product, and average product is increasing. And at stage 3, you can see in this stage it is not profitable to employ more unit of labor, since the marginal product or the additional output you are getting due to increase more unit of labor, the additional output will be negative. So in stage 3, it is not profitable to employ any unit of labor, since at this stage you'll be getting loss. So at stage 2, you can see that as I employ more unit of labor from L1 to LM, the marginal product is increasing, but at a decreasing rate, which leads to increase in total product. But in this stage, it is feasible to employ more unit of labor from L1 to LM since it adds to total product. So at this stage 2 is a feasible, or we can say feasible or profitable region or stage, since the marginal product adds to total product. And you can see, if you are trying to maximize the total output, it means you can employ more unit of labor up to this output. So these three concepts is very important, and these stages are very useful, especially in making decisions of what amount of labor to employ in order to produce a certain amount of output. So you need to have familiar, or to have concept of these concepts. Now let us see a problem, or how we can use this concept to solve a problem. Okay, now let us see a particular problem, how we can solve this by using the concept we learned. Let us consider this question. Question number 1 said, the hypothetical production function for a competitive firm with labor as the only variable input is given as a follows. We are given average product of labor, which is 4 plus 3L minus L square over 3, where now L stands for labor in man hour, and AP, L, is the average product of labor. Now we are asked to calculate amount of labor when the law of diminishing returns starts to operate. Then 2, calculate the output at the beginning of stage 2 of production, and 3, calculate the amount of labor at the end of stage 2 and its corresponding output. So let us write the information we are given. We are given that the average product of labor, which is 40 plus 3L minus L square over 3. Now here we can find the total product. Okay, we know that total product, this one the same as a average product of labor times number of labor. So when you take the average product times labor, you get the total product. It means the average product is the output per unit of labor, as we know. So here the average product we are given is 40 plus 3L minus L square over 3. Then all this will times L. So when you multiply, the number of the total product will be equal to 40 L plus 3L square minus L cube over 3. So this will be the total product. Now we are asked that to calculate the amount of labor when the law of diminishing return to operate. Now the law of diminishing returns start to operate when the marginal product is at a maximum. So we needed to find now the marginal product, and the marginal product is equal to change in total product over change in labor. I hope all of you have knowledge on how to find the marginal product. So this will be obtained by differentiating this total product function. So it will be equal to the same as the differentiate this function, which is 4L plus 3L square minus L cube over 3DL. So when you differentiate, this one will be the same as the 4 plus, when you differentiate, this one will be the same as the 6L, and this one will be the same as a L square. So the marginal product will be this one. Now, when this is at a maximum, it means you need to find the second derivative of the marginal product. So when you find the marginal product, its second derivative, this one will be equal to, you need to differentiate again this one. So when you differentiate, this constant will be equal to 0, then plus 6 minus 2L. So the second derivative will be equal to 6 minus 2L. So this one will equate equal to 0. So when the marginal product is maximum, when we find the differentiation of the marginal product will be equal to 0. So when you equate equal to 0, now 6 minus 2L will be equal to 0. Now when you find L, 2L will be equal to 6. So divided by 2, L will be equal to 3. So the amount of labor when the law of diminishing returns starts to operate will be equal to 3. So therefore, for case 1, here we are dealing with case 1, Roman 1. Therefore, the amount of labor is 3 or 3 units. The second, we are asked to calculate the output at the beginning of stage 2 of production. Okay. Now the output at the beginning of stage 2, as we know from the diagram, stage 2 starts when the marginal product is equal to the average product, or when the average product is at a maximum. So at the beginning of stage 2, Roman 2, at the beginning of stage 2, you know that marginal product is equal to average product. So we know that the average product, we are given average product of labor the same as 4 plus 3L minus L square over 3. And the marginal product of labor, this we obtain by differentiating the total product. So from the previous, the marginal product was 4 plus 6L minus L square. So now you can equate these two functions. Marginal product of labor should be equal to average product of labor. So when you equate these two equations, 4 plus 3L minus L cube over L square over 3, this will be equal to 4 plus 6L minus L square. So you can collect the likely terms. This and this one will cancel. So this one and this will cancel, so remain with 3L minus L square over 3 equals to 6L minus L square. So when you multiply 3 throughout to remove this fraction, here will be 9L minus, this will cancel, so it will be 3L square equals, here will be 18L minus 3L square. Sorry, here will remain with on L square. So when you multiply throughout by 3, remain this with this equation. So you collect the likely terms. This and this one come on the same side. So this one come this side will be 3L square. So you less L square plus 9L minus 18L equals to 0. So here when you subtract will be 2L square minus 9L equals to 0. So you can solve by factorization. You factor out L. Here remain with 2L minus 9 equals to 0. So L will be equal to 0, or here 2L minus 9 will be equal to 0. So here be L equals to 0, or L equals to 4.5. Okay. So it means at the beginning of stage 2, the number of labor will be equal to 4.5. Now, if the amount of labor will be 4.5, now you ask to find the output. So the output, you take the total production function, total product will be equal to 4L plus 3L square minus L cube over 3. So you plug this unit of labor into this equation, be equal to 4 times 4.5 plus 3, 4.5 square minus 4.5 cube over 3. Okay. So this one will be equal to, so when you simplify this information, the answer will be equal to so when you use your calculator to simplify this one, the answer will be equal to 210 210.375 units. So the output at the beginning of stage 2 will be 210.375 units. Therefore, the output at the beginning of stage 2 is 210.375 units. And the third, we are asked to calculate the amount of labor at the end of stage 1, the amount of labor at the end of stage 2. The third question is to calculate the amount of labor at the end of stage 2 and its corresponding output. So at the end of stage 2, it means is the beginning of stage 3. So we know that the total product is equal to 4L plus 3L square minus L cube over 3. So this our total product, and we know the marginal product of labor we said is 4 plus 6L minus L square. So at the end of stage 2, from the diagram, we know that the marginal product should be equal to 0. So this marginal product, so at the end of stage 2, the marginal product of labor should be equal to 0 or is equal to 0. So you will equate this function equal to 0. So 4 plus 6L minus L square should be equal to 0. Now solving this quadratic equation, when you solve this quadratic equation, L1 or L will be equal to, so when you solve this one, L will be equal to 10 or -4. So when you solve this one, the value of L, when you use the calculator to solve that problem, so when you solve, you get this value. So here the negative sign will not exist. So you take this positive. So L, the number of labor, will be equal to 10. Now you need to calculate the corresponding output. So you will substitute this unit of labor in the total production function. So our total production function is equal to 4L plus 3L square minus L cube over 3. So when you substitute 10, it will be 4 times 10 plus 310 square minus 10 cubic over 3. So when you simplify, this one by using calculator, the answer will be equal to, so when you simplify this one, the answer will be equal to 366.67 units. Therefore, the total product is 366.67 units. So the number of labor will be 10, and the corresponding output will be 366.67 units. So this is how you can solve the problem by using the concept of stages of production as discussed below. So make sure that you practice on this concept in order to solve or to have a knowledge of analyzing this production theory or this production concept. So here is the question for homework. As you can see, you are given this information. The following table is derived from a production firm X. Here is the labor, here the total product, the average product, and the marginal product are columns. So you are given the information of labor and total product. So you are asked to fill the gap of what? Average product and the gap of marginal product. Then now, after completing this information, you can now solve all these problems. For instance, case 1, you asked to calculate the marginal product and the average product for each stage. So stage 1, I think you know, starts from when labor is 0 up to when marginal product is equal to average product. Then after finding those informations, you need to present the data from the table. You need to present graphically those informations. Then now, Roman 3, you ask to explain the law of economic portrayed by the curves. So after drawing the curves, you can state which law is portrayed by that graphs. So I hope at the beginning learn the law of diminishing returns. So that law you need to indicate where it starts to operate. So this will be as a homework, and you will send either through my email or you will discuss with your fellow students. Okay, thank you. This is the end of our discussion. Next we will discuss another concept, so don't miss. Thank you.